Hi everyone, thank you so much for coming back. I apologize that I was away for about a week and a half due to a lot of performances with my orchestra, but I most look forward to come back. And I thank you so much for a few subscribers and your encouragement and your questions and your suggestions, and I will do them all. Anyways, today I thought one of my students actually asked me, how do you bow a perfect straight bow? I must say, perfect straight bow is supposed to be for all professionals, but not all professionals have perfect straight bows. That has something to do with in the youth when you start learning the violin, how you track your bow, and that's the most important. So if you are a little child, age 10 and under, I would strongly recommend you practice in front of a mirror. So you always correct when the bow is not straight. But if you're 12 and older and you really want to pursue violin seriously and you want to put thoughts and analyze the movements, I think this video will help you greatly. One of my most memorable lessons was my teacher, David Zafer. Well, he passed away about a month ago, and I'm most fond of him. I indebted to him most of my performance and career. Anyway, the lesson that he showed me, of course, none of these are very original from my own, only the words are my own. He was a student of Oskar Shumsky, who was Leo Auer's student. And also he devoted his life analyzing a lot of bowing movements, techniques, and I like to read. I actually, in fact, love to read. And I like to analyze the way he analyzes things, especially on the bow arm and both hands on the violin. So here I'm going to impart to you just a little bit, and I hope it's clear. First, I hope you can hear me. The light just went off. When you hold your violin, if you can hold your violin while you practice this, is most ideal. This study actually, he said, it's from Dunas, one of the masters of violin teachers. It's placing your bow in the direction where the violin perpendicular. That is what we call a very straight bow. And if you hold your bow, left hand on the tip, then you draw your right hand up to about halfway until your elbow form a 90-degree angle. From this point, and you go down and up and down and up, down. That would be the movement. That would be the bow movement as you were to play at the frog. Sorry, at the tip. I'm at the frog. And the other half, from the middle to the tip, that would be the way you would do your bow at the frog. So try a few times of that. Because my bow is straight and is not moving, the tracking of our entire arm is for sure you're going to draw a straight bow. And then you just connect the other half so you are at entire bow. Noticing the elbow. A lot of students do this. Let me turn on the light. I hope that's better. A lot of students tend to do this way. When they draw down bow, it's beautiful. And when you start come up, the elbow goes up and to provide up, and that's incorrect. That will not give you a good sound, and your sound will sound very pressed. I'll turn a different angle, then you will know what I mean. Notice this part of my elbow against my body. This is your down bow on A string. That is the same way as you come up. That is what you're supposed to do. And this is not what you're supposed to do. Have you noticed my elbow has just lifted to a different string level? Because when you're playing somewhere on an A string level, your elbow is like this. D string is here, G is higher. Even though you are at the tip of your A string, when you come up, the elbow should not become a D string level when you go up. Make sure the elbow against your body always is exactly the same distance, same relationship, as long as you're playing the same string. So A string, I'll show you. Maybe you can see it this way so I don't speak to you from my back. And here's A string. And you see my elbow, focus this part. When I come up, should stay that way. So you have the same pulse and same force, same pull, same weight. This will not be the same. This movement is pressed. You are pressing down onto the string with the weight of your arm. And imagine you are doing this every other bow. That's very uncomfortable. And your sound will not be very continuous and will not be very musical. Try a little bit on your own. Just A string with me. Let's do 8 bows. 2, 3, 4. Just to keep the elbow at the same spot. That's A string. And of course, D string, you go up slightly, maybe an inch or 2 higher, but you always maintain in the same level of elbow when you come up. That's number 1 of how to do straight bow, is maintain your elbow at the same level in the frog as the same as at the tip, and down bow and up. Number 2, place yourself against a wall. At the 90-degree angle. Somewhere around here is my middle of my bow. Now we go down bow towards the tip. Please notice my elbow, the distance between my elbow and the wall. When you are in the middle, towards the tip, your elbow moves away from the wall. A little bit. Now on the way up, your elbow should go back to the wall and then finish towards the frog. Is when your elbow going away from the wall once again. And this is a very simple, very logical, and makes most common sense movement. But somehow the many students, when they study a few years, come to me and they don't understand, the elbow actually has been going back and forth in this movement. We only know going down and up, but we forgot that there's actually this action. This action is more important than just playing straight bow. This action also will reduce the tension of your right arm. And I'll show you. Pretend this, actually you can see the outline of the wall with me standing here. So I will go from the frog. So my elbow is actually now away from the wall. Notice, this is what I'm trying to explain for students. Notice that on the way up, a lot of students tend to either lift your arm up to press or feel the music, anything. They're physically, they feel like they must lift your arm. But that creates huge tension on your right arm and your right shoulder and your right side of your neck. There's a tiny little movement you must remember to do, and if you do that, all that tension and your arm will be fixed. And that is, you must, at the tip, you see how the elbow is forward now? All you need to do, just push your elbow back. It is the way you're supposed to do, but you emphasize this movement in the beginning. That will break all tension and then allow your wrist to lead the whole thing back up again. If you don't have this movement, this is your down bow. If you don't have that movement, you see how my elbow did not go back? I went this way, and that was done by my shoulder. And that's very dangerous to form a very bad habit for very uneven sound and unmusical sound. Going down this way, when you're at the tip, in the beginning of the tip, feel your wrist and your hand, just a little circle. And in my last video, I mentioned just a little bit of brush together with your elbow going back just a little bit. You come down this way, you go back up that way. Look at elbow once more. My elbow going down, now I'm in the straight, again, flush with the wall. I come off the wall, that's my tip. Now going back from the tip, this is the most important. Your elbow must go back and go back up. It is exactly the same way as you go down. Try not to bypass this movement. So we become this kind of up. Become a down and then up, down and then up. And that is incorrect. It's down, up, down, up. The arm is exactly in the same relation against your body, up and down both. So I hope you can practice a little bit with that. All right, and of course it will definitely help if you look in front of a mirror, and that will help you to realizing that your movement is actually producing a very straight bow. So let's do a little bit of exercise if you have your violin, and you can do it with me. Going from the frog, having your hand dangling up a little bit, and then when you go down, don't immediately press this wrist down. This wrist needs to maintain up as much as you can, and then just pull the bow. Feel like your hand, your bow is heavy, and you're pulling it with your wrist. Acknowledge it when you're in the middle of the bow, Now, elbow go forward slightly, go towards the tip. Now, elbow going backwards a little bit with your tip of your fingers, a little bit of a brush movement. There. Now you're back in the middle, and your elbow now going forward again. And then you're trying to connect them. The sun just came out. I will see you next time. If there's any question, please comment below.